Hey guys, it's Andrew with AndroidCentral.com, and this is the OPPO Find 5, and we wanted to give you a hardware walkthrough first here. And if you haven't heard of OPPO, we wouldn't blame you. They haven't made that many phones, and they're actually best known for different like Blu-ray players and set-top boxes and things of that sort, but they've been kind of stepping into the high-end smartphone game, and they really put out some very interesting products. I think interesting is the best way to put it. And this is their latest, the Find 5, which, as the name would suggest, has a very large 5-inch display on it, and it is a 1920 by 1080 display as well. And when they announced it, it was one of the first devices to have a 1080p display. Now it's somewhat of a normal thing if you look at some of the highest end devices. But what they've done is they've also wrapped it in this nice kind of metal and heavy plastic and kind of weird acrylic pieces. And it's just a very, very well put together phone, nice and blocky and angular as well. Let's give you a quick walkthrough around the outside. You have a SIM card tray at the top, which takes a micro SIM card and requires a, actually, let's see here, requires kind of a comically large SIM card pusher because the just the way that it's set up, you can't use anything else. You kind of have to use this or maybe a really long paper clip. But anyways, going along the side here, we're on the left side, and you have a power button on the left. Most end up on the right, but I guess you have two options, and once you get used to it, it's not bad at all. Just a regular power button. And if you notice, it's kind of, I would describe it as kind of like an acrylic look. It's kind of clear, semi-clear, semi-opaque with like graphite coloring behind it. It's very interesting, and it kind of matches the edge of the glass screen up the top. Nothing else going around the corners, and then you have a micro USB and a mic on the bottom. Going around the side here on the right, nothing else except for your volume keys, which are also made out of that same kind of weird clear plastic acrylic type thing, and they're kind of small actually, and they don't stick out very far, so it's kind of hard to hit them sometimes, and especially on a device this large, it can be hard to hit those buttons on and off. So we're not entirely sure about the ergonomics of that because the phone is so large. We might expect them to put them a little lower, but it's hard to complain. They're just volume buttons. You're not hitting them that often. Around the top, you see the bit of the camera pod sticking over, and then you have a headphone jack. Now this clearly isn't the thinnest phone ever. I guess we have the HTC First sitting here too. It's a very kind of similar thickness, and this isn't the thinnest thing in the world either. So they've definitely added quite a bit of heft to this, and it is heavy as well because of the kind of the materials it's made out of. On the back, you'll see this speaker here, and similar to what the Nexus 4 is doing now, it's hard to tell, but there is a little nubbin here that seems to, the goal seems to be to keep it sitting off the table when you set it down, so that it so that you can hear the speaker. And then you also have your 13 megapixel camera up at the top here with a dual LED flash and a secondary microphone, and a little bit of flat OPPO branding there, and the rest of the FCC stuff, all of that down at the bottom. On the front bezel here, if we can get focus to work, you have 3 capacitive keys: menu, home, and back. Yes, menu and back, and they're kind of in the opposite sides of some of the other phones, so that gets kind of annoying. But you also have this really nice metal or metal-like bezel here as well, and the display is seems extremely nice. Very bright, very crisp. We have it at like half brightness right now, and it's very clear. And viewing angles seem pretty good. Doesn't seem to really have a gap in the display or anything like that. It is an LCD panel, so that's kind of what you get with the territory nowadays. And here's the software as well. We'll be getting into that in a separate video, but for now, that's your general walkthrough of the hardware on the OPPO Find 5.